Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Fractured Realities. This is your host, Jay Warner. Tried to record this a little while earlier, but my dog decided that it was doggo time, so I was interrupted. So please excuse the little fuzzy faces in the corner. I usually have my daughters keep them company, but they're in school, so I decided it would be a good time. I have a day off today, so decided to share with you. And I do work two jobs, one about 20 hours a week and another, 40 to 50 hours a week. So it does kind of cut into my time. So I do apologize for any of my few followers here who, want to hear from me or think that I've abandoned. I haven't. And a lot of the times, my more recent videos have been about, geopolitics and that type of thing, about world affairs and world events. And I'm going to continue on that trend. But I also, like to talk about things on a more off the cuff nature. I mean, what is the truther movement if you can't be truthful about yourself, if you can't share your spirituality and your experiences, whether they're supernatural or strange or bizarre on a quantum level? That's what it's for. So I am personally online. I'm part on Facebook, Twitter, not so much anymore. I've kind of veered away from that. But Instagram, YouTube. I'm part of several communities where people talk about the truther movement in different aspects. Whether it be the Mandela effect, whether it be politics or hidden histories, aliens, of course. Several different things. And I don't necessarily agree 100% with any of these philosophies. I don't have that one little lockbox of beliefs that, revolve everything around that one certain thing. I like to keep my mind open, and I like to talk to people who actually disagree with me and don't see things my way or understand things the way I do, because that helps me expand and that helps me grow. I mean, there's millions of people waking up every day, and we don't all share the same belief systems. We don't all come from the same backgrounds. We don't all come from the same countries, the same cultures. We haven't had the same life experiences. So it's nice to get that cross section of community and of people to do that. But at that same time, there are people that just literally set the movement back. To record that 5-minute rant or that 2 or 3 second sound bite about gay frogs that make us all look like the tinfoil hat people. And there's those people who live a very basic life, don't believe in government corruption, go to church every Sunday, don't believe in anything that they can't see or that they haven't heard or experienced. See, my beliefs are based on my experiences. When I talk about the supernatural, those are experiences that I've had in my life. When I talk about the Mandela effect or quantum effects or reality changes, these are experiences that I've had. I believe them because they're right there in my face. I believe that there's a painting behind me because I can turn around and I can see that painting. Now, if I see a spectral form walking across my hallway, I'm going to believe in a spectral form. I'm not going to dismiss it because it's not true. And the same thing with religion. I've went on a path seeking wisdom through religion, and it just, to me, it never resonated. I never had that hallelujah moment. But nonetheless, there are many great people who are religious people, and that's why I wanted to talk about things that I personally feel detract away from the truther movement, that make us look like those 5-second gay frog sound bites, and make us look like the tinfoil hat people, that maybe people need to have a little more forethought and before they just post things randomly on Facebook and try to do this. So there's quite a few things, but I don't want to be a huge nitpicker, and I don't want to put my personal beliefs into it too much. So I just kind of narrowed it down to 10. But all right, the first one that I need to address is the religious people. Okay, there are millions upon millions of groups that people can go to and quote Bibles to, can be with other religious people and quote sermons to. I have in my life experienced many great people, and most of those great people have been Christian people who have a very strong belief in this Abrahamic system. Doesn't resonate for me, doesn't work for me. I'm also a member of Alcoholics Anonymous. I've had my issues and I've had my demons, but I didn't need religion in order to conquer those. But for a lot of people, that's worked. And when I first started going to meetings a few years ago, I would hear a lot of people and a lot of mention about Christ and giving yourself away to a higher power, and I'm like, whoa, hold on a minute, don't take away from me. This is something that I did myself, but there are people who use that as a format to live a good life and to be a stable person. So I don't have a problem with it. I'm not one of those asshole atheists who screams about seeing the baby Jesus in a nativity scene. I don't give a shit what people do or what people worship in their homes. That's great for them. But when it comes to the truther movement and it comes to groups, it seems that every single group, whether it talks about witchcraft, whether we talk about spiritualism, whether we talk about aliens, the Mandela effect, government conspiracies, government cover-ups, every single time you have that one person who puts in these long biblical quotes. Everything's about the Bible. Everything automatically turns back to religion and their spirituality. That's great. That's good for them. But they sometimes, some of them take it a step farther and give these apocalyptic warnings and preach to people and tell you have to be saved, you need Jesus in your life. And no, really, not everybody needs that. Not everybody needs that spiritual foundation that you have. If that's good for you, that's good for you. But stop with the biblical quotes, number one. I've read the Bible several times. I don't need it quoted back to me. If I wanted that, I'd go to church. I don't go to truther groups to hear sermons. If I wanted to hear a sermon, there's 7 churches in this town. I actually live in a town that has more churches than it does alcohol establishments, which to me is phenomenal after growing up where I grew up. But yeah. Your personal belief is your personal belief. But you literally chase a good amount of the people away from the groups when it becomes about religion. When it's all about religion and your beliefs. And then tell people that they're going to go to hell or that they're a fool for not believing what you believe. You're setting the whole movement back. If you want to go and you want to talk about Jesus, go to a religious group. Go to church. these are for people that are trying to awaken to different things that frankly, religion, especially the Abrahamic religions of Islam, Judea, and Christianity, cannot explain. You cannot explain certain things away. Not everything is black and white. There are many, many shades of gray, and you don't have to accept that. I don't expect you to accept that. If your whole formation for life and thoughts and beliefs is based on Christianity or Islam or Judaism, that's fine. But that's not for everybody. That's not everyone's path. And the more people awaken, the more people who are kind of moving away from that. But when you go to a group to talk about, say, Mandela effects, and there's that one certain person who turns everything into a demonic, satanic conspiracy, and everybody, if they would just drop to their knees and accept Jesus into their life, everything's going to be great. Well, that didn't work out so good for the Coptic Christians who were slaughtered in Egypt. That didn't work out for the millions of Christians throughout the Middle East who have been murdered. That didn't work out for the Buddhists or anybody else who have been killed by other people because of their religious beliefs. You know, that magic sky wizard never came down and saved any of those people. That magic deity and all-loving being that you worship has not made an appearance, has not thwarted wars, has not stopped starvation or plagues or disease or war. So until your great, almighty, all-powerful being can come and do something and prove to the world. A book is not proof. Words are not proof. They have meaning, they have power to you. Use them. Make yourself a better person. But don't try to preach to the world. Don't try to convert the masses. That's not everyone's answer, okay? And for my friends of you who are Christian, I love you. Thank you so much. You know, a lot of Christians have helped me out in my life, and I am in no way trying to shit on those people. My mom was a great Christian, and, you know, God bless her soul. I'll always love my mom, but, you know, that path isn't right for everyone, okay? So let's keep the religious comments, the preaching, the sermons to religious groups. Okay, so that's number one. And the number two here is sort of related in a way, but not quite. This one falls more into not necessarily the preachers, but the zealots, where everything is a satanic plot. Okay, if you talk about fae or magical creatures, they're not real, they're demons. Aliens aren't real, they're demons. The chemtrails are a satanic plot. The Mandela effect is just a satanic plot. Everything's about Satanism. And everything is about some satanic plot. And if then you have people on the other side of the coin who literally throw into that. You have so many so-called Satanists or black magicians or whatever they want to call themselves who come on there, and whether I believe quite a few of them are trolls, but they come on there and just fucking throw flames on the fire. Okay, so the whole satanic panic is a little bit ridiculous. Okay, there may be Satanists, but like I've said before, and I'm not going to go into a long preach or long sermon about that. But when you talk about people like the Temple of Set, the ones who came up with the Baphomet statue, or the Church of Satan, these people are more trolls. They're more humanists. They're not actually sacrificing babies. Okay, they don't actually believe in a horned being. There are cultists out there who probably do that, and I'm not saying that they don't exist, but this isn't a widespread thing. Okay, the world has gone beyond the 1980s satanic panic where everything is a Luciferian agenda. And then people talk about a Luciferian agenda, that all these different groups are just all Satanists. And like I've said many times, and I did a long video about this, it didn't get a whole lot of views, so I don't think a whole lot of people wanted to hear it. But Lucifer and Satan are not the same being. Okay? Lucifer is a god of knowledge, is a god of wisdom. Lucifer means the lucent one, or the illuminated one, the one who has the knowledge. Okay? That doesn't reflect on some fallen angel being from Abrahamic religion. Lucifer has existed since Mesopotamian times as a deity in that religion. And he's also crossed over into other cultures. So just please do your research before you start calling everything satanic or Satanist, or before you become a so-called Satanist. And there's nothing funnier to me than when somebody calls themselves a Satanist and they post a picture of Lucifer in the garden, or they post a picture of Baphomet. Okay, if you knew the first fucking thing about the occult, or about religious history even, and how they adapted pagan gods and pagan deities and turned them all into this one super evil demonic horned being, just do your research. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Not everything is a satanic cult. Satanists are not something that you really need to worry about. Okay, that's not an all-consuming problem. There aren't human sacrifices going on all over the place, but there are many other issues that need to be done, and this shit is just once again a distraction. I'd say even a psyop. The whole satanic panic thing is just fucking ridiculous. And when you call everything a satanic or Luciferian agenda, you're talking out of the side of your mouth. You're once again, you're telling everybody that you're part of the Abrahamic brotherhood, and that you only have that certain core set of beliefs, and that you're not a truly awakened person who wants to help other people or learn knowledge. You're not there to learn knowledge. You're there, once again, just like the ultra-religious people, the satanic panic people, are there only to, serve their interests and not the interests of other people. And once again, there are groups that you can be a part of. You do not have to come to a Mandela group or a spiritual belief group and tell everybody the dangers of Satanism. It's absolutely ludicrous, and it is not needed. I'm sorry, that's my opinion. If you don't want to be part of the Luciferian agenda that you believe so strongly about, turn off your computer, number one, because that is knowledge. Lucifer is about knowledge. Turn off your TV. Go live in a log cabin somewhere. Go back to nature. Or else you are part of this Luciferian agenda. You're part of the knowledge. You're part of the education and the learning. You are a part. You are becoming illuminated, whether you like it or not. So if this is something that you're so afraid of, put down that piece of technology and run for the hills. Which, in my opinion, isn't a bad thing. I think we all need to go out and walk barefoot and walk underneath the moon and ground ourselves and get back to nature. I think that that's a great thing. It's just part of the reason that I'm not, Mr. social media 24/7 anymore, or why I don't post videos all the time. Sometimes I like to deal with the natural world. I like to go outside and watch the bunnies hop in the fucking yard, or go take my dog for a walk, or watch the deers run across the field, and just forget about all this bullshit, all the whole LED reality that we live in now. So, like I said, if you're so worried about the Luciferian agenda, buddy, you are on the wrong damn format if you're online complaining about it, because literally you're feeding the beast, so to speak. And like I said, I've done other videos on this. I'm not going to go on and on about it, but stop with the whole telling everybody it's a satanic plan and a satanic plot, because it's not. And you want to talk about secret groups and their involvement with the occult? Well, I'm going to get to that. That's coming up later on. But yeah, stop with the satanic panic. It's ridiculous. You're like the PMRC back in the 1980s trying to ban music. Just quit it. Anyway, all right, and to my next thing, and I want to paraphrase a few things here, because I know that I personally talk a lot about politics on this channel and political beliefs. But if you're in a truther movement and you want to learn about aliens, you want to learn about ghosts, you want to learn about the supernatural or the occult, or you want to talk about the Mandela effect or quantum theories, you don't need to throw your political beliefs in there. I was in prime example, I was in a group the other day where it's a Pleiadian group, where people claim that they have messages from these higher beings. And no, I don't get messages from higher beings or ascended masters. Never claimed that I have. But I like to listen to these messages and hear what these people have to say. And a lot of them are good people, and they have very positive messages. So there's nothing wrong with that. But here comes one the other day who says they have a message about peace and tolerance. The way they will get peace and tolerance is by overthrowing the government and murdering the evil President Trump. I'm like, bro, you just became the hugest fucking hypocrite in the world. Number one, you're directing negative energy at somebody who's never personally done anything to you. Unless Donald Trump has came to your house and slapped your fucking dad and stuck the dick in your punch bowl, directing negative energy on you is going to direct back. You got to understand the law of karma when it comes to that. Just because you don't personally like the man's views, and I don't like all of his views. I think he's an asshole in a lot of ways, and I think he's right in a lot of ways. Same way I felt about fucking Obama. But, and once again, you have political groups, thousands and thousands, probably millions worldwide, where you could sit there and talk about your hate of fucking Trump or Obama or Clinton, but does it really have any effect, or does it really help people or help people grow in the truth or movement hearing your personal political beliefs? No, it doesn't. There are times and places for that. Start your own YouTube channel. Start your own page where you can Trump bash, conservative, liberal bash away. Start your own echo chamber. But you don't have to go to every group. Everything doesn't have to be a fucking political statement. You know, this world has existed millions upon millions of years before the damn Republican and the Democratic Party. And literally, when you do nothing but talk about that, you're just, I'm sorry. You make yourself sound like a basic motherfucker who can't escape that. Watch CNN or Fox and just leave it away. Okay? And like I've said before, the political shit is just out of hand. I mean, on one side you have the liberals who see these fucking Nazis and everything. Everything's a Nazi. Everything's a white supremacist. Even though if you look at the fucking numbers and the statistics by groups that support your beliefs, you'll find that probably countrywide, at least as far as here in the United States, there's probably, 1,200 Klansmen and 35 to 4,500 or so white supremacist type groups. This isn't a huge. There aren't Nazis hiding around every fucking corner. Like I got into the gun control debate with one of these very, very far left people, and I said, well, what are you, a hunter? What are you going to kill animals? Is that why you own firearms? I'm like, no, I own firearms to protect myself and to protect my family. Somebody comes in my door, I want to be able to be protected. I'm not going to be a victim. I've grown up in Cleveland. I've been a victim. I've fucking had a bullet go through me. I've had knives stuck in me. And I live to tell about it, but hey, if I would have had a firearm on me at the time, fucking that shit would have never happened. I could have survived a lot of pain. A lot of my friends wouldn't have fucking died the way they died with violence if they were able to arm and protect themselves. And I try to explain this to people, and the motherfucker had the nerve to say, oh, must be a scary world you live in. I'm like, motherfucker, you see Nazis hiding around every fucking corner, everywhere. Somebody gives an okay salute, and then all of a sudden that's white power, or, you know, everything's white power, everything's Nazi. Anybody who is not a far leftist to you is a fucking Nazi. That's so. For number one, learn about the fucking political beliefs that you spout. Nazism and fascism spouted from the left wing. They are not a right-wing belief whatsoever. Nationalists, especially conservatives who are nationalists, are far from being Nazis. Just because people do actually point out the differences between races and religions and cultures doesn't make them racist. That's just being real. You can live in your fucking echo chamber all you want and scream about Nazis and this and that, but you're not changing a fucking thing. You can go put a fucking mask on your head and throw a bottle of fucking piss at a Trump supporter. It's not going to do anything. You're not going to change anything with your political views. You're not going to do it. What you are going to do is you are going to bring out those few thousand. Okay, say, okay, let's give a great big estimate and say there's 20,000 Nazis running around in the United States. Those 20,000 Nazis are going to say, hey, look at this guy with the fucking mask on and the skinny jeans throwing piss and attacking people. You know, is that the people you want representing you? No, you should join me. You're going to create more bullshit. And that's what the whole fucking thing is controlled opposition. Turn CNN off and have a thought. And the same thing goes for the Republicans. You motherfuckers see communists everywhere and Satanists. Once again, the whole religion has infiltrated the right wing to a sickening fucking extent. Just stop. There are not fucking packs of fucking communists around every corner. There aren't packs of Nazis around every corner. And like I said, here I am going into a political rant. But when you bring that shit to a truther group, it has no place. It has no meaning. Nobody gives a fuck about your political views. Stop it. Quit it. Have a thought. Put that shit where it belongs. I don't care how much you hate Trump or how much you hate Obama. That has dick to do with fucking magic. That has nothing to do with the Mandela effect. And that just makes you look like somebody who's caught in your own little echo chamber. And once again, enough about that. Politics have no place in the truther movement. They don't. This is bigger than the political parties. So believe that. Think about it. Respect people with other views and just move on. Okay, and here's another one that that absolutely drives me fucking bonkers. As everything the Illuminati people, where everything is an Illuminati fucking thing. Like this Illuminati is this huge million strong fucking group of satanic fucking right wingers, or if you're a right winger, left wingers who are planning things out. Let me explain something to you, okay? The term Illuminati was coined back in Europe by people who called themselves the Illuminated Ones, who were a group of individuals who wanted to get away from church and politics and do their own thing to learn the old secrets. Literally the modern day versions of the mystery schools, who would definitely be ostracized by society or charged as heretics by the religious freaks. So they formed this group called the Illuminati. Okay, and this name seems to keep sticking. People read a fucking Dan Brown novel and think all of a sudden they're an expert on the Illuminati. Okay. Little factoid about Dan Brown, in case anybody's interested. Dan Brown, you always scream out Masons or about the Masonic Order. Dan Brown is a Mason, by the way. So, perhaps his books are a distraction. Have you ever thought about that? Where he's directing you towards the Catholic Church and the Masonic Order in order to get you away from the truth. Okay, and I'm not saying that people who are part of the Illuminati or who are part of these secret groups who you all throw together into this group called the Illuminati don't have a nefarious agenda. Some of them actually do, and that's proven. But not everything about the Illuminati. Okay, here's a prime example. And I do this a lot of times to troll people online, and I probably shouldn't. It's probably a dickhead move, but hey, you know what I mean? I am fucking a product of chaos, so therefore sometimes I do like to fuck with people. But when you see this, oh my God, do you realize that in ancient Europe, when somebody would see a witch or somebody who they believe was a practitioner or somebody who was with demons, they would do this to cover up from the evil eye. Literally, that's covering up from the evil eye. That's not acknowledging the Illuminati. That's a protection spell. That's a ward. That has nothing to do with any kind of thing. And believe me, when you see all these stars doing this or doing that's a protection spell. They're protecting themselves, or like myself, they're trolling you. They're doing that as a reaction. They want to create a mythos around themselves of being this mysterious person. That doesn't make them a Satanist. That doesn't make them an occultist. That just means that they're fucking with you. They're focusing energy to troll you. You're buying that energy and you're screaming about it, talking about an Illuminati cult, and you're giving them energy. You are giving in. You are fucking feeding the chaos magic. So if you want to keep screaming about it and talking about Illuminati this and Illuminati that, everything's an Illuminati plot, literally you're feeding them. Whether it's negative or good, or whether you're one of those fake ass motherfuckers online who claim that they're Illuminati, which if you were, you certainly would not be fucking talking about it online. That's part of the reason why you are one of the illuminated ones, or you're one of the chosen ones, because you're chosen to give to have that knowledge. You're not going to share it with fucking people in a Facebook group. And I've had a lot of my friends who you know, here's a prime example. My friend Kara T. Winters, she runs a group called the Mandela Effect Researchers, where they talk about the Mandela Effect and a few other things, but mainly the Mandela Effect. And like literally people have came out left and right and accused her of being part of the Illuminati and being a fake person or a not real person. And I've talked to her personally several times. She's a very real person. As you know, I don't know him much on a personal level. I don't know much about the guy, but her boyfriend Laszlo, who also does videos about the Mandela Effect, is a real person. They're not fucking Illuminati. They're people just like myself who want to share and do things. They're not part of some kind of fucking cult. Just because they don't want you talking about the flat earth in their group doesn't make them Illuminati. Or just because they say, hey, you're being an asshole and kick you out of the group doesn't mean that they're controlled opposition. Not everything is an Illuminati plot. Okay? And here's another thing. Everybody says Illuminati, and then you see pictures of the royal family. You see pictures of politicians. Hold on for a second here. Let's separate apples from oranges. Okay, there is a group, very, very proven. They name themselves, fucking Bush Sr. came straight out and said it. He talked about the New World Order. Okay, the New World Order is not the Illuminati. The Illuminati is a group who shares secret knowledge amongst themselves. The New World Order is a group of bankers and people from royal bloodlines who meet up once a year and decide the fate of the world. This is very real, very proven. They're very out in the fucking open about who they are and what they do. But that doesn't make them Illuminati. These aren't the same thing. You need to separate the two. And yes, the New World Order is very real. Now, I think that people are sort of misdirected in their beliefs about them. Do they want to eradicate 9/10 of the population? I don't think so. I think they just want to live in their ivory towers in their gated communities while the rest of the world destabilizes, so that they could continue control, so that they could keep us fighting amongst ourselves over shit like the things I talked about, religion and politics and the mundane horse shit that we fight about day after day. You got people like George Soros who literally pay people to come into these groups and fuck them up, who are controlled opposition. George Soros pays, follow the money trail. I can do a whole video about this, but follow the money trail. Both the fucking so-called Nazis who showed up in Charlottesville, as well as the Antifa fucking goofs, were all paid by George Soros. The money all goes back to one source. And Soros, of course, is funded by the world banks and the Rothschilds family, as well as the Carnegies, the Rockefellers, these families that have been ruling the roost generation after generation after generation. Now, you people talk about the Illuminati and the New World Order, but everybody tuned in and fawned over the royal wedding, which I don't understand Britain's fascination with the royal family. Number one, the royal family comes from the Wilhelm bloodline. They're Germans and Austrians. They are not Saxons. They are not Britons. They are not Gauls. They are Germanic. They literally are not British whatsoever. They were related to Tsar Alexander in Russia. They were related to the Kaiser. They're all the same family. They might fight on both sides of the wars, but they're all the same family. They're all the same bloodline. And none of them are British. And yes, they are part of this control mechanism. There's a reason why they call Her Royal Majesty's Navy Her Royal Majesty's Parliament. Like, literally, you think that they're just figureheads, but they're not. These are people who control the world, along with the royal bankers and the royal financiers and some of the kings of industry. These are the true people who control the world. And believe me, it's not a fucking religious or a satanic agenda. They just want to keep you in fucking chains, and they want to keep themselves in places high in high power. You know? Stop pointing a finger at fucking Rihanna for going like this, and start pointing a fucking finger at George Soros for trying to fucking spending billions and billions of dollars trying to destabilize society for the past 300 years. Or him and his ilk have been trying to do this for the past 300 years. Soros, in particular, has been doing it since World War II. He started off as part of the Nazis, sold his own Jewish people into slavery, and actually, literally, talked about how it was the greatest time in his life and the greatest feeling in his life when he was part of the fucking Third Reich. Yet this guy continues to support all these leftist groups. So that's somebody you really need to be looking at. Or the Rothschilds. Maybe the royal family. Who knows what they're really into. I don't know. I think that they're part of the New World Order, obviously. Do I think they rule the world? No, I think they're figureheads, and I think the whole fascination with the royal family and the royal bloodline, which who by the way are not part of the Tudor dynasty or are part of the English kings of old. They're fucking Germans, but whatever, you know. These are the people that you need to look at. You need to redirect your energy and your thoughts. Not everything is an Illuminati cult. CERN was not created as a cult. Yes, there are some ceremonies involved with CERN, but that's a whole other thing and a whole other show that I can talk about. The Mandela effect, literally changes in our reality, are not created by a bunch of rich, foo-foo, so-called socialites who live in ivory towers. They don't give a shit about Satanism or God or any religions. Their religion is money. Their religion is power. That's what they're feeding off of. They're feeding off of your fear. They're feeding off of your anger. They're feeding off of your wallets, and they see you as a slave component in life. But they're not Satanists. Which brings me to the next point. Then we get into these people that think everything literally is part of an alien agenda. Now, I, from personal experience, have never seen an alien. But I never really believed too much in UFOs because I never saw UFOs until I moved to Montana, where I can actually see the skies, where the light and the pollution isn't blocking out the stars. And I've looked up in the air, and my daughter also, and I see all kinds of crafts and strange things in the sky. I'm not saying that these are alien ships. because there are Air Force bases not too far from where I am. But there are definitely some UFOs, and there's definitely some ancient monuments and hieroglyphs and caves and all around the world that kind of point to the fact that UFOs might be real. I mean, I think that literally if you wanted to put together a case for the creation of our species or our history, I think that the aliens may have had more to do with it than any gods or any things, or even God himself. Who's to say that that wasn't some alien being who landed and said, "Hey, I created you guys, worship me." Okay, there goes Doggo again. Come on, Vlad, get out of there. Sorry, he's underneath my desk barking at the ghosts. Vlad, shut up. Come on, bud. Come here, Buffers. Come here, Buffers. So, yeah. But then you have people like David Icke who tell everybody that everything is a reptilian agenda, that all these people are fucking reptiles, that they're literal shape-changing fucking lizards who turn into giant lizards and eat babies. Now, come on, man. If this was the fucking case, this shit would have been discovered years ago. Oh, yeah, it's a giant, huge conspiracy cover-up, but you can't tell me one of these people wouldn't have got injured in a public place and had to go to a hospital and they discovered fucking lizard blood or a giant fucking lizard laying on a table. Okay, that's not how it works. I've explained to people once again in another video about archons and about what the reptilians truly are, whether people want to believe it or not. But you want to believe that this whole world is completely infiltrated by reptilian, super alien things. Yeah, that's great, but I once again, I haven't seen any fucking proof. Just because there's a bunch of videos on YouTube of people with their eyes changing, hey, look at my eyes. With the right light, that could look serpentine. I'm not a serpent. I certainly don't turn into a lizard. Shit, I got pretty oily skin. I don't think I could be a lizard. So, not everything is a alien or reptilian agenda. Once again, there are groups specifically for that. You don't need to come to every single group that you can find and start telling everybody that everybody's a reptilian, that the Queen of England is a reptilian, and Donald Trump and every world leader is a reptilian. Okay. There may be some truth to that, and I'm not completely shitting on this theory, but until there's some significant proof that this is a real phenomenon, other than a ex-British tennis player who tells you that it's true, I'm sorry, I need more proof than that. So once again, I mean, you go on and on about this reptilian thing. Everything's a fucking reptilian, New World Order, Illuminati, conspiracy. You're putting everything together. You're forming a opinion in your mind based on what a few people have came out and said, what a few people claim that they have seen, and it's all hearsay. I mean, there's just not actual proof that this whole alien world control agenda exists. I'm not saying it doesn't, but I've yet to see anything that is factual fucking proof. Until you can put some factual proof into this, just stop, and not stop saying everything's an alien agenda, because fucking you heard David Icke say it in a video, or because other people posted some memes. So let's quit with that. And I'm not going to go on and on about this. I'm not saying that there aren't aliens. I'm not saying that aliens don't exist. I'm not saying that there aren't serpents, or that there might not be an agenda, but not everything is part of that. Let's separate things into different categories, and let's not scream at everybody and tell everybody that they're a reptilian or an alien, or that, yeah, that's just crazy. And then, okay, let's get away from the weird for a minute and talk about some other people that I think kind of are detrimental. Now, everybody has a time in their life when they're going through bad times, when they have a crux and they have problems that they have to deal with. Everybody has darkness in their life, in their path, especially if you're new into the truther movement. Your eyes are opening and you saying, wow, the world is pretty fucked up. It's going to be depressing. It's going to be a hard road to toe. But there are some people, and this once again goes across all groups, who every post they have is a personal attention grabbing thing. One day it's, my wife left me, send healing vibes. I feel so sick today, send healing vibes. I don't feel good today, send healing vibes. Pray for me, give me advice. Almost, these people almost like every day where it's every single post, it's them literally whining or crying about their life. And, where you're talking about, chemtrails in the sky, and then all of a sudden this person's, oh yes, my mom died yesterday. And I'm sorry that people are going through rough times in their life. I've been through them myself, but I never brought it to truther groups. I never tried to pull away from the subject that people are talking about to focus light on myself, or to focus light on my problems, to turn the group into about me. And that's the problem that I have with the serial whiners, the people who constantly have to make things about them. That's what personal messages are for. And if you're friends with people on groups and you post on your Facebook page is your sounding board. Your YouTube channel is your sounding board. It doesn't need to be part of every truther group, and every truther movement doesn't need to hear about how your boyfriend cheated on you, or how your girlfriend slept with your brother, or your dog, or whatever the case is. I'm sorry, but this distracts away from everything and says, oh wow, look, there's I'm reading this and I thought that this was full of information, but it's not. It's full of fucking people whining about their fucking relationships. So, talk to people. If you need help, send people private messages, but don't inundate these groups with your personal problems. There's other formats for that, and the truther movement is not a format or a shoulder to cry on. And I don't mean to sound cold-blooded. I don't. And I have many friends, and they've talked to me about problems in their life, and that's great. But I don't do it within the groups. I don't do it within the group settings. I don't pull away from what everybody's talking about and suck the fucking energy out of the room by telling them I feel sad. So, like I said, you have your pathways for that. It doesn't, in my personal humble opinion, it doesn't belong in those groups. And everybody has, sad points. Everybody gets depressed or sad. And, I've whined a time or two on groups, but I just don't make it an everyday thing. I'm not talking about the people who once in a while say, hey, I'm dealing with this tragedy in life. Can you help? That's fine. That's what the community's for. That's why we are a community. But I'm talking about the people who do this day in and day out in several groups. I've seen the same person in several groups whining about their boyfriend or their relationships. Sorry, bad choices. Maybe you need to reflect a little inward, and instead of trying to get the world to help you, help starts within. That's my point. Okay. I'm not going to spend too much on that because I really don't want to sound like a prick or like I'm picking on people. I'm not. But, and my friends all know that they can always reach out to me anytime they want. And they can talk about anything. I don't have a problem with that. But don't do it in the group setting. It doesn't have to be for everybody. Okay, that's my only point. And then there's number 7, and this is one that absolutely drives me nuts. Okay, I have a lot of friends within the truther movement, within the pagan groups, within some of the alien groups that I'm in, the Mandela Effect groups, and absolute beautiful women. Beautiful women. But men are especially bad about this. There are women who do it too, believe me. But the serial daters, the people who literally come into these groups in order to pick up women, where they'll sit there and they'll wait in the groups until they see a beautiful woman comment on something, and then that's when you see their comments. That's when all of a sudden they're the nice guy and the knowledgeable one and the one who wants to help out and add, and you can message me or you can call me anytime you want, darling. I'm here for you. Well, you weren't there when, the heavyset girl or the guy or the other people needed help. But you get a girl who looks like she has some model potential, who's 7 or an 8, and all of a sudden you're the most helpful, acknowledged, awakened motherfucker on the planet. And women do the same thing. And there's people that will pretend to know or have knowledge. They'll sit there and Google shit and try to make themselves sound intelligent just so that they can fucking literally pick people up online. Now, if somebody has to meet you online or they have to fucking do that should say something or reflect something about their personal lives. If they can't meet somebody in their personal lives and they're so great, so I mean, internet dating in general should be a huge flag, especially people who do this day in and day out. And there are people all over the truther movement in every single group who fucking are posers, who pretend that they are knowledgeable about shit when they really don't know anything. They're trying to get laid because maybe they're fucking awkward, maybe they're not who they say they are, maybe they're misleading, they want attention that they can't get in their personal life, so they come to these groups and they find people who are upset or who are dealing with changes in their life and who are at crux moments in their reality, and they fucking feed upon that shit. And it happens in every single fucking group that I'm in. There's always these guys who do nothing but fucking talk to the females in the group, who don't really share anything, who just comment on females pay. And women that do the same thing. There are several women, who, have hit me up in private messages, and, it leads to some sort of flirty, can we hook up type of thing, and that's just not what I'm here for. I mean, personally, there's a lot of beautiful people, but I don't do the long distance thing in general as a rule, and I really don't meet people online because you really don't know who you're talking to until you do. I have a lot of friends, but if you're using these groups to hook up, go to a fucking singles line, go to Plenty of Fish. Go to Match.com. You don't need to sit there in a fucking Mandela Effect group and add every female who you see, who you find attractive, and private message them. You're a fucking predator. You're a scumbag if that's what you're here for, or what you're in these groups for. If you don't know shit about fucking witchcraft, don't go to witchcraft groups just to try to pick up hot witchcraft chicks. Or fucking pick up dudes or whatever the fuck you're here for doing. These groups are for knowledge and knowledge sharing, not for fucking getting laid, not for picking up people, not for meeting your fucking twin flame or your fucking soulmate. It can happen, and I don't shit on it happening. I know plenty of people who have started dating, who have met each other in these groups, and that's fine. But it wasn't their sole purpose when they entered the group. Was to meet or to mate with other folks. They came into their group and they found somebody that resonated with them, and they started a relationship, and that's great. But there are people who, of all sexual orientations and all things, who literally go to these groups just to fucking meet people and try to upgrade their social life and to get laid, and it's fucking ridiculous. I mean, not a lot of people seem to be able to spot them. I mean, maybe I just have an asshole radar. Maybe it's that fucking predator lizard part of my brain that fucking sees what they're doing, but I don't personally do it, but there are many people that do. So, ladies, watch out when you get that so-called illuminated person, or that super smart person, or that supernatural person who tries to jump forward into your emails and all of a sudden starts telling you how attractive and great and awakened and wonderful you are. You might want to watch out. They might just be trying to put their dick somewhere. Hate to be blunt about it, but yeah, these people are a huge problem in these groups. And now this is the one where I'm going to piss a few people off. And I have a lot of friends who believe wholeheartedly in this belief. Some not as much as others, but some literally start their own groups just to have a sounding board for this one belief, where everything is an all-consuming philosophy, where they say that the biggest cover-up in the history of mankind. No, I think the biggest cover-up in the history of mankind is our origins, not the shape of the fucking planet. But the flat earthers, man, it seems like when people get on this, they watch a couple videos, they become a flat earther, and it becomes an all-consuming thing. They want to prove to everybody else that the earth is flat. Every group has several people in it that just go to this flat earth thing. It's nonstop. Every single post you see, there's flat earth posts. I mean, where a lot of the administrators, like my friend Kara and a lot of the administrators and the Mandela Effect researchers, just literally ban the subject. Whether you believe it or you don't believe it, it turns into a big shit fest. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. My personal belief is that this whole fucking thing started as a troll, or a comment, or perhaps even a psyop. But these people are in every group talking about the flat earth, and I am sorry. I have a lot of friends who are flat earthers, and I respect you and I love you, man, but fucking stop. Quit it already. Not everything is about the fucking flat earth, about the shape of the goddamn planet, because a map's flat doesn't mean that the earth is flat. Okay. Why don't I believe in a flat earth? I've been on top of a mountain. I've seen the curvature of the earth. I've been in the ocean. I've seen the curvature of an earth. I've been in a plane, and I've seen the curvature of the earth with my own eyes. There's been people that have sailed around the planet. I have friends who live in fucking Japan who have flown over to Hawaii. Now, if your flat earth fucking model was like that, how the fuck did they do that in a few hours? It's not possible. Stop. This is something that's been disproven fucking well over 1,000 years ago. Okay? And every time somebody brings up a scientific point or something relevant to it, you shit on it. Like, okay, gravity. Oh, gravity doesn't exist. Australia doesn't exist. Well, they do. They're very real. And I don't agree with science on everything. I mean, definitely, I think there's some huge science cover-ups. But the flat earth ain't one of them, brother. I mean, it's just stop already with this. Please. If you believe in a flat earth, that's great. I'm not going to shit on your beliefs. You're not going to convince me that the fucking earth is flat. I've seen proof otherwise. There's no fucking possible way that the entire world could cover this up for the history of our fucking species. It's not possible. People have sailed around the earth. People have flown around the earth. Literally, if you go far enough up in a passenger jet, you can see the curvature. You go far enough up in the mountains, you can see the curvature. The earth is curved. This is my reality. This is what I see. This is what I believe. I'm sorry. But the flat earth thing, I think, belongs in flat earth groups. If you want to talk about your flat earth and all this so-called proof that you have and how every camera is a bubble-eyed lens and every fucking window on a plane is a bubble-eyed lens. Apparently my eyes are bubble-eyed lenses too, because when I've been fucking climbing to the peak of a mountain and seen the curvature of the earth, apparently my eyes are bubble-eyed lenses, and apparently I don't know. And apparently, and people get actually fucking violent and shitty with other people and tell them, well, you're sorry that you're so brainwashed into thinking that the earth is round, that you're stupid and that you won't listen to facts. Fucking stop. If they don't believe in it, they don't believe in it. I'm not telling you to believe that the earth is round. Believe that the earth is fucking flat. I don't care. I don't fucking care. But what I do care about is when you people become zealots and fucking infiltrate every damn group that people are trying to learn things about. If they wanted to learn about the flat earth, they go to a fucking flat earth group. They wouldn't come to a pagan knowledge or a group who talks about aliens to learn about the fucking flat earth. They wouldn't. That's not the place for it. Keep your flat earth discussions to the flat earth groups. You want to be, hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the earth is flat. So what? So what? It's not like I'm going to hop in a boat and fucking fall off the side. That ain't going to happen. So that I don't think is the most relevant thing. I mean, besides the fact that it's a ridiculous theory, easily disproven, has been disproven time and time again. So what? What difference does that make if reality's changing around me? What difference does that make if people are trying to spiritually awake, if the earth is flat or round? Who gives a shit about the shape? Just stop already. Stop with this whole fucking psyop bullshit where you have to convince and fucking brainwash everybody into thinking that the earth is flat because that's what your belief is. And this is ever growing. They have reality shows coming out about the flat earth, for fuck's sake. Like, they couldn't take anything from the truther movement that might have relevance and put it in there, but no, the flat earth is so big and so fucking popular, and people are so woke hearing about it now that they gotta make that. So yeah, this is something that's been aggravating me, and I have a lot of friends who are flat earthers, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to insult you. That's your belief, that's fine, but fucking stop. It doesn't have to be in every group. Not everybody cares about your fucking flat earth theory, so stop. Put it back, put it where it belongs. Start a flat earth fucking society. Join those people. Stay with your people within your own group. You don't need to fucking bring this and make everybody look like fucking 3rd century non-navigational, people who don't understand the laws of fucking physics and nature and science. You're fucking pissing it all away for some belief and some fucking memes, and some assholes put a few videos on fucking YouTube and you're buying it hook, line, and sinker. If you're that concerned about it, why don't all you flat earthers pull your money together and pay somebody with a fucking large plane or a large jet who can fly up at about 50,000 feet where you can see the curvature of the earth, have them fly around the planet. Sponsor it. It wouldn't be that fucking expensive. Instead of sending money to fucking goofs on YouTube or donating money to people who fucking talk about it and talk and prove nothing. If the fucking earth is flat and you can prove it and make me a believer, I'll shut the fuck up. But until then, stop it with the fucking flat earth nonsense. Prove it. That's all I'm asking you. Show me proof. Not memes, not little cutouts, not YouTube videos. Show me actual physical fucking proof that this earth is flat, with a giant dome around it and a sun that's only 3,000 miles away. Until then, I really don't want to hear it. And that literally makes me tune out of a lot of groups that I'm part of. If If it turns into a fucking flat earth discussion, I tune out. And literally, I've left several groups over it. Not everybody wants to hear about your flat earth philosophies. But, okay, so I'll leave that off. Now, here's another thing that I see in every single group that absolutely drives me out of my fucking mind. And that are the so-called super beings. Every group has to have, okay, all right, let's break it down group by group. You go into the Mandela group, and there's people who claim that they're certain scientists, or that they're psychics, or this or that, and that they know about that, and that they're that, or they are from another dimension, and they're here to tell you about this. Oh, yeah, they can't go on fucking national radio. They can't go on TV. They can't go on any other format. They have to stay on Facebook. Or go on YouTube where there's no fact checking and tell you that they're a super being. I've ran into people who claim to be archangels, people who have claimed to be reptilian aliens, people who have claimed to be ascended masters. Yet all they fucking do is set in these groups and tell people something, usually something that you can read between the lines and see is a fucking personal agenda, whether it's a political belief or a religious belief. But yeah, and they sit there and they go through that. Or once again, this fits into the whole serial dater thing. You know, what better way to pick up a witch than to tell her that you're a pagan god? Or to tell her that you're a demon? I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. Stop being super beings. The Truth or Movement is about the truth. Be truthful. Be who you are. I'm not saying that you have to use your real name. I don't use my fucking real name online, and I'll be the first to admit it. I don't need anybody who disbelieves me or doesn't believe what I say to do that. But everything else that I say about my life is 100% true. I don't lie about who I am or what I am. I just don't use my real name. But I don't claim to be an ascended master. I don't claim to be a member of the Illuminati. I don't claim to be a reptilian alien or a super being or a channeler or a fucking psychic or a god. I mean, I've seen it all. I've seen it all, and it's fucking ridiculous, and it's appalling. Be yourself. Be who you are. Be honest. Because literally, you're in the end, you're going to make a fool of yourself. Somebody's going to ask for proof. You're not going to be able to prove it. You're going to disappear, and you're going to pop up in some other fucking group as something else, some other high-powered being, and you're making an ass out of yourself, and you're making an idiot out of the group. Stop it. You are not an archangel. You are not a demon. You are not a fucking god. You are not a reptilian alien. You are not an ascended master. If you were, you certainly wouldn't need to spend all day long on Facebook trying to convince people of what you are. Quit it. Use your knowledge, use your intelligence, use your power, use your wisdom to make the community grow. Not to fucking empower yourself or live a fantasy. If you want to role play, go to a role-playing group. If not, keep it real. Be who you are. And people have respect for that. And people have love for who you are. You don't have to be a super being. Be who you are. Be yourself. And watch. It's pretty fucking refreshing, actually. And which brings me to the very last group that absolutely make the movement look bad. That's the new people who have just discovered the movement. The people who go on YouTube and happen to come across the David Icke video, or happen to come across the Mandela Effect video, or happen to come across a Flat Earth video, and all of a sudden they come on there and they tell you how they're so shook, and I am so awoke, and I am so awakened. And they grab onto this theory, and these people will watch hours and hours of videos on this one subject, but they don't fact check. They don't look at other sources. They don't listen to opposing views. So they come on and they literally go on Google and click on some Google images or put on something that's easily disproven, and they make themselves look like idiots. And I'm sorry, I know if you're new to this and you're trying to learn, that's great. But my point is do a little research before you post in these rooms. Know what you're talking about. Listen to different points of views. Don't stay stuck in a box. Don't use it as your echo chamber. Don't use it as a place to date other people or to feed your fucking ego. This is a learning experience for all of us. This should be a growth experience for us. It's not just for you. It's not just to feed your fucking needs and your wants and your desires and your political views. It's not to bring people to team you. It's for all of us to learn together. So if we can think about philosophies, respect other people's opinions, cut religion and cut politics out of the fucking view, be who we really are, we can all learn together. If not, you're going to have a bunch of trolls who show up and make fun of us and laugh at us and make the whole movement look like a bunch of fucking idiots. Do your research. Be yourself. Don't come here to date or to feed your ego. And learn. Learn with the rest of us. Let us all grow together. That's what this is all about. This is about growth. Leave your fucking egos at home and grow. Let's grow together. Let's learn together. Maybe people might not agree with you. That doesn't make them demons or Illuminati or part of the satanic agenda. That just means that they don't necessarily agree. Move on to another subject. Or find somebody who does agree with what you say. And, you know, form your groups and form your beliefs according to that. And sometimes, hey, your beliefs might be disproven and you can grow. It happens to all of us. My beliefs aren't the same as they were 3 years ago or even 2 years ago. Every day we grow. Every day we change. Don't get stuck in a little box. Especially stuck in a box that the programmers and the controllers of our reality want you to get put in. Learn for yourself, man. Come on. Let's grow up. Let's stop acting like a bunch of teenagers in this group and let's make them informative and knowledgeable. And if you don't have anything knowledgeable to say on a post or you don't know about it, don't fucking post. Or if you have a question, ask a question. Don't just throw your theories out there. Don't make shit up. And don't sit there and troll the comments for fucking somebody to fuck with or for somebody to pick up and date, you know. Let's grow together. Google things. Research things. Read books. Grow your knowledge. Grow your base. Every day learn something new. And once you have a lot of knowledge and you want to share with people, share with people. And ignore those who don't believe your beliefs. Don't argue with them. Don't fight with them because, like I said, reality is subjective. We all have our own. We all live in our own box. But hey, I like to share my knowledge with other people, and I like to try to help other people grow as I have, and we're all work in progress, man. None of us are super beings. None of us are fucking gods. None of us are ascended masters. We are just people who want to learn, and we are people who want to grow. So let's grow together, and let's stop with the bullshit. The Truther movement could take off to sites you've never seen, but it can't do it when all this little petty shit's going on. So that's my belief. Sorry if I offended anybody, and hey, I love everybody in the Truther movement, even some of those people that I've mentioned, but come on now. Let's have a thought before we post. Let's do this as a community and let's grow instead of trying to feed ourselves. Thank you. I'm signing off now. Goodbye. Love you all. Stay awake.